Welcome to the LinkedIn Power Lab webinar. Today is Monday, the 19th of December 2022, and the topic today is LinkedIn Quick Fix. Disclaimer at the beginning, LinkedIn as such is not a quick fix. Obviously, it is rather about how can we find elements that are worth now to improve, which don't take that long, but are good when we go into the next year and we might have a little bit time at our hands. So this is a re-recorded version of the webinar, so we will not have an audience today, therefore it will be a little bit shorter than normal, but I'm happy to share what we talked together with the audience today, but unfortunately the live recording didn't work. So for everyone who is new to this webinar series, which I run about every second month, my name is Gunnar. I have quite a bit of interest into LinkedIn and social selling. I am a social media consultant with a side business. I'm blogging about social selling for more than 4 years now, and I created 2 online courses about the topic, and I published a range of books. So therefore I thought I'm maybe not an official LinkedIn trainer or coach in that sense, but rather someone who is a practitioner who knows what works. And therefore I'm happy to share that works. As usual in this webinar series, I have 3 topics for the theme of today. So therefore here they are, and all start with an A. What a surprise. First of all, alerts. Alerting in the sense of there's something immediately visible that it should be fixed. And then advancing to the next level. And then also activities to find out what we can truly do. So then let's get started on the topic of alerts. And I would ask on all of these 3 subtopics for the webinar, I would ask the audience for some feedback. When did they update their LinkedIn profile for the last time? And going through what we said today, most of them said last year, 4 years ago, half year ago, but most actually didn't touch it for at least 12 months. And the audience, many of them said they would have touched it if they had a job change, because that apparently is the biggest trigger, but it should not be the only one. So let's compare 2 LinkedIn profiles just visually, and knowing that we have only 7 seconds to make a first impression, as we know this from reading the CV. So first one here is Bruce Wall, a true expert in his field as a consultant, and he is also acting in the finance area. Admire his work, no doubt. We have plenty of common connections, as you can see, 261, but on the other side, it doesn't look like fully up to date in the way how his LinkedIn profile is presented, despite he has a very good representative photo, but not too much about the rest. And then we look here, the other one, Simon Bowden. He's a business coach as well, slightly different area compared to Bruce, but if you only see this, then you have rather the understanding that he knows a bit more about how currently LinkedIn profiles can look like. With the background image, he has his own company with a logo, he shows what he's talking about. You can see the number of followers. I have similar mutual connections, I would say. He has some kind of a services page below, and he even shows a personal way that he is together with Naomi, and they just had a wedding, so of course visible on social media. And you can see his color is red everywhere. So there's a lot thought to it to make it like this, and it doesn't take long. So therefore, quick fix is the topic for today. Let's find out 7 areas in this alert section, and then 7 areas in the advanced section what we can actually change. So here's another example from Peter Strohkop. That's a German way how to say his name, and he's a sales coach, a buyer focused sales selling specialist, as he calls himself. So let's look into the topics for this section. So we look into the headline, and here's a quite long headline, you can see, and the first 60 characters, that's what's visible. So in this sense, about up to teaching tech. Here's a good photo. He's smiling. That's the one that we want to work with. His background image is using the real estate quite nicely. And of course he says download here. Yeah, all good. His location is visible. Contact info we don't see now, but he has it quite updated. Everywhere he can be contacted. Experience there is good, and the skills are good. So in these 7 areas, I'm sure, and feedback from the audience beforehand was that there's surely 1, 2, or 3 things that can be fixed quickly. Let's look. The headline typically shows from position at company to rather achieving an outcome for the audience. Should be keyword rich and jargon poor, not to use abbreviations from the company background. Now it's 220 characters on desktop and on mobile to have it long enough. Let me show you my journey so far. Some time ago, I've been a channel sales manager at Login, an Australian risk management software vendor. And I've been happy that 2 participants from the session today actually came from that environment in business continuity and risk management. Love that. Thank you for joining, Alicia and Ali. So later I changed that. You can also see next to my name, I put CMGR, which is a chartered manager. I don't have it there anymore because LinkedIn doesn't like it. But you know, some people put there the MBA on it. So let's not do that. But here the sentence, helping consultants, partners, and their clients manage risk smarter. Kind of a slogan. Manage risk smarter was the slogan from Login, but I added also whom I help, and especially consultants and partners. That was my focus, but their clients, the consultants' clients and the clients of the partner, that is their end focus. So I covered all of that. And I added back then already the social media mentor. Then from there, I moved to Hootsuite between 2020 and 22. And there I wrote it as a social selling advocate at Hootsuite. That was not my official role, but it is kind of an activity that I put me on there. And as I commented on social media, about social media, the brand name Hootsuite was actually quite useful. But then I have the slogan as well, Advanced Social as highest performing customer engagement channel. So that's why how you can do this as well. Mix it. Have something that is in the first 60 characters that tells something nice, that the audience feels it's compelling. Next one, photo, background image. That's all about who are you? What do you care about? You want to show this visually. And of course, those who have a company brand and their organization might need to follow that, or you can have individual choice. Let me show you an example from one of my former partners I've been working with in the past, and he changed this not too long ago. That's Michael Augusto. We met a couple of months ago. And then here you can see a good headline. Obviously, that's the outcome of what they're doing in the company, Empower IT. But what I like here, beyond a smiling picture, quite accurate and current, he has also a nice background image that apparently some of their marketing might have created for all of them. But it's good because it shows the topics they're in a interesting way how that is written. You can see the business is large, cyber is large, for whatever reason, point is large, backup, and also 365. So somehow it feels like it's plenty of topics that they really know well. And even the logos on the top left, so that there's place enough for the picture. That works very well. Well done, Michael. Like it. So contact info. Next one, also a chance to change something. Sometimes I want to reach out to a professional because I need something, whatever it is. But then I can't find out how to contact the person. Okay, I take the next one. Easy thing. So it should be the right website, particularly for those who change. Don't keep the old one in there. From the old employer, private email address might be better than the business one sometimes due to spamming stuff. Those in contact with end customers should have their mobile phone number, but it's up to everyone's personal preference, of course. Those who are active on Twitter can add this as well. Please don't put a physical address. You do not want to have anyone robbing the place. And a good tip, add your birthday. At least once in a year, somebody might think at you, and out of a birthday wish, you can create something nice. So here's an example for Nando. We're working together on a company in Germany, and he took actually all what I mentioned before, all there, working well, reachable, good one. So these are the first section. Now let's get to the next. Advanced, get it to the next level. And to ask a question, you can guess the result. I asked, did you ever post a video about yourself on LinkedIn? Maybe 90%, 95% of participants said no. I admit mine is also quite a while ago. Video came on LinkedIn in 2018, native videos, not only YouTube, to be shared in the link. And these videos were nice embedded and were the greatest since sliced bread, and nearly everyone used to hop into a car and do a video over there. But I will show you something different about video. So let's go back to Peter's profile and find the advanced topic. What else can be done? The about section. Yeah, that's not an easy one, but it's worth updating this. Then the LinkedIn profile URL. You might be asked, could you please share your LinkedIn profile? Maybe in a call and put it into the chat. But you need to know it. It should look good. And here's an element you see around Peter's photo, that there is a circle. This circle shows that there is something more on it. So if you stay on that profile from him, after a while, a video is playing there. It's called Cover Story. I'll show you in the next slide what that is all about. And there's a little speaker logo next to the names called the name pronunciation, also a new feature. And here is a clickable website. In the past, we had to go to contact info and there find a website and click on it. Alternatively, in the about section, there could be written a website, but you cannot click in it on a mobile phone. And on a desktop, you can't click either, but you can copy the text, open another browser tab, and then enter it. This is much better. It opens in a new tab, or it opens out of the LinkedIn app into a browser. And as you can see here, you can even rename this, and not the URL itself, but he says click here for more info. And the other new thing, about 1.5 years ago, is a creator mode, which shows what person is talking about. These 5 hashtags. And finally, the service pages. It is like a dedicated landing page where Peter's offering his services in a standardized way. So 5 of these things are rather new, and the about and profile URL are not, but often they are a challenge. So let's look. Formal summary section about. It's not longer a recruiter's summary about a candidate anymore. Not at all. It's more about how can you describe yourself in at least 3 paragraphs in the first person, not in the third. For many people, a challenge to speak in the first person about themselves, because we are all humble. We're not bragging. We do not want to say how great we are, how much we achieved by numbers. But we want to show that we made a difference, what we are interested in. So therefore, who are you? What drives you? Why do you work here? Let me show you an example. That is from a manager of sales development of a company I worked with 1.5 years ago. And that lady said, I got into sales because I love building strong relationships and helping people succeed. Good one. I've ranked in the top 3% in the sales organization of 750 people, and I continue to work to be a top sales performer. That's okay. It's not too bragging, but at least it shows, yeah, she made it. Good. She offers problem-solving skills. She tries to develop unique solutions and so on. It's good. It's not too much overdoing. But you see also that 1, 2, 3, 4 sentences start with the word I. There is no I in team. So I would not necessarily start everything with I, especially not 2 paragraphs after each other. I would rather say in the second sentence here something like problem solving skills are a passion of mine and I help driving to develop blah blah blah, something like this. But also good that she was featured on that particular sales podcast, including a reference. Apparently that means something for those who know this podcast. And it's short, it's good, because everything about the company comes later. But maybe another paragraph about might be good, more about her values. But that's it, doesn't need to be longer. The LinkedIn profile URL shows to demonstrate that you're not a rookie on LinkedIn. Don't use a generic first name, last name with a cryptic number. Doesn't look good. Imagine you're invited to speak on a conference, and having here today in the webinar at least two of you, Alicia and Nalin, who are in this conference business, and I met both of you at conventions. You would want to show a real good LinkedIn profile URL into the conference papers. Looks so much better. You can change it deep inside the LinkedIn profile, especially when your name is not necessarily Adam Smith, where we have plenty of, even here in Sydney, but something like my name, which is rather rare, then it's easier to create that. So you go on the top part of LinkedIn, you click on me, you get then a little menu which shows this, that you can click on view profile. Do this and look towards the right. There's a bit more advertising of whatever LinkedIn puts you there. There is written edit public profile and URL. When you do this, you can change it. Edit your custom URL. Click on the pencil icon and change. Find something beforehand to figure out if it works or not. If you need to put a dash in between first name, last name, an underline or whatever. If you want to add something, but it should be yours. Even if you would change your company, stick with your own profile URL. That's it. I have actually the same thing for Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all the same. Always my first name, last name. That's how that works. Easy to do, but most don't do it. The modern items here, to give you an idea what they are, at the example of Sue Parker. She's a career expert, job search strategist. She knows LinkedIn extremely well, writes a lot about it, especially in mass media. Not many do that. And just look on her headline. There's even ageism warrior. Good one, good on her. Like that. So, cover story is circle around her image, around her photo, this colorful one. There's a 30 seconds video behind the photo. And then you have the little speaker icon next to her name that is called name pronunciation. You can record 10 seconds to hear your name. Of course, you can use it for quick elevator pitching in a sense of, hey, my name is Adam Smith. I'm that Adam Smith from Sydney. Whatever. You can describe in 10 seconds. There might be more Adam Smiths in Sydney, but there's only one great one. So, mostly who use this? Actually, coaches, consultants, they have the chance to demonstrate how they actually speak. Corporate employees rarely have that. The recording only works on the mobile app, not on the desktop. But on the desktop, what you can change is the website. You can see on her example, that's written below the location, website and services here. Good one. Benefit of all of this, present you more generally to the public. Remember the earlier two profiles I showed you. Looks much better, much more modern without big work. Next topic here is the creator mode. Do you want to stand out and build loyal communities? Then showcase what you're talking about. 5 hashtags. And everyone who follows those or who posts content also with those will more likely see your content. Especially for those who are regularly sharing content to demonstrate their experience and build networks. Up to 5 topics, of course, called hashtags. And not to forget, hashtags on LinkedIn are not like Instagram, where you use them to express a feeling, like Grace's World Cup final of all times with a hashtag beforehand, because nobody would search for that. But in my example here, innovation, that has 39 million followers. When I started using this occasionally, in a post, and I've got many more people who viewed and engaged with my post. Another thing that is changing with the creator mode, normally the about section comes quite fast when you scroll down, but here in the creator mode, the featured section, that you can put a carousel of your best post contents, whatever, and the activity section, they move up and about gets down. It's good because you won't like to show fresh material. And creators, they create so many stuff, so many posts, hard to keep up with this. So then this feature section helps us to declare what is the most important 3 to 5 posts. Also, for those strangers who are not connecting with you yet, for them using the connect button becomes now a follow button instead of connect, because the idea is to get more followers instead of connections, knowing you can only have 30,000 connections, not more. And also you can add services page with a call to action on it, like an example of Sue and Peter. And also another newish features can be used with the creator mode quite well. You can see it, my example here, the tools written like LinkedIn Live, LinkedIn Audio, and the newsletters. So that is possible, which in the past has not really been that broad. That's good. Benefit, grab attention over your boring competition. That's it. That's what we want. Assuming that's what we want. Some people only use LinkedIn to look around. But if you're not connected to so many people, you can also not look around so much, because LinkedIn doesn't show who the people are and the names are. Next topic are activities. Another question to the audience. How often do you comment on someone else's post? And here the answers were, of course, nicer. Somebody said, oh, I do this at least every second day. Somebody said, oh, at least once per month. But many are commenting, but not maybe that often. And somebody said, actually, nearly not at all, which is a pity. Because commenting is the way how we can find our voice. But we need to ensure that our comments also matter. The tricky thing is, most people comment too short with one-liners. According to latest statistics from Richard van der Bloem, a comment should have, if memory serves me well, something like at least 8 words. Not in these cases here, but those gentlemen, of course, it would be just a perception as low competency as they do not write a lot. But I met Roger on a couple of days ago, and I spoke to Ed as well today. So then they, of course they can, but they want to comment quite a lot, and therefore that was only short. But the missing chance to be recognized by others. That's the point. Look here. There was an article, my newsletter episode last week, Thursday, with a book review from Jane Jackson, who's a career coach, similar field as Sue Parker, different location. And instead of realizing, oh, that is actually a book review of my competitor, instead of that, Sue, with a slightly different focus, she fully supports that. And that's what LinkedIn is all about. If someone is in a similar industry, don't treat ourselves only as competitors, but rather think about how can we together lift up the whole game of that category. And she adds a quote here, and then slightly she adds also what she likes at this type of work. And that's good. And of course, I also responded to it, and people saw this. And there's more people who celebrate or put a like on that in the meantime. So that's a good one. Commenting helps. It helps to start dialogues, to learn from others, and to get leads, to be perceived as an authority or thought leader. One day, I wanted to find participants for a panel session at an event for risk management. How to do it? I posted something relevant to the target audience. I tagged later 1 or 2 consultants who I knew. They saw that and they commented. And I could see a dialogue happening. Everyone commented 4 to 5 lines. Wonderful. I gave them a stage in my comments. And 3 out of the people who commented, I invited them and they got into the event and they could share a lot of content about them. So commenting truly helps. The next topic was messaging. Messaging on LinkedIn is what people do in the sense of when you're connected with someone, maybe. If you do it well, then of course you would have a personalized invitation. We come to that. But messaging also can be used to simulate working together. The biggest disruption in messages are voice and video calls. Therefore, I asked earlier also to use video, not just in a post, but in this way, in a private way. It's the best way to showcase a real you, but it works only on the mobile app. So this is here from the iPhone, looks quite similar on Android. So you have below, when you want to write a message, you have this, and there's the microphone button on the right hand side. You click on it and you hold it for 60 seconds. As long as it will record. If you release it, then the recording is over and of only 60 seconds. But you can also click on this attachment sign, and there you see the button for taking a video that runs for 2 minutes, but you don't need to hold it. You only click it on, then it will record, and after 2 minutes it's ready, or whenever you want to stop it. Good one. While we do it, we can send out with our own personality. Nice surprise. I mentioned connecting with people. Also one way which I put here there in terms of activities, because that's not to just refresh a profile, but to ensure that we get in our habit a bit of a change, to go from collecting to connecting. So when I want to connect with someone who I either met somewhere or I realize there's a good reason to engage with that person, I will typically watch the profile from them to prepare the hook, because no hook, no look. That helps also to remember later in messages. LinkedIn messaging is an underrated search engine. When I add a personalized invite, like here, I wanted to connect to a gentleman called Joseph McCarthy from Bright Talk. That is a platform to share webinars. So of course, on the desktop, I wrote, hey, hi Joseph, we chatted about Bright Talk recently, looking forward to talking to you soon. In the meantime, it would be great to connect with you on LinkedIn. So it was a contact that started actually by email, but I wanted to add it on LinkedIn as well. It takes just 15 seconds to type that. It's not long, but I even have templates for that. But on mobile, let's look him. That is Joseph. Still before I got connected. Second grade. 80 mutual connections. Good one. So then normal people would press on connect. I don't. I see that there are 3 dots. Whenever I see 3 dots, that means there is something else. So I click on it and I got this menu, personalized invite. And then I do the same as on the left-hand side. The likelihood for someone responding and accepting the request is much higher. So let's get into the summary what we talked about today. First was alerts. Fixing headline, photo, background image, and contact as examples. Doesn't mean you have to do all of them, but you know in which way your profile might be not that up to date compared to the examples I showed. So find some of those. Advanced, talked about the about section, the LinkedIn profile URL, some of the new features and the creator mode. Maybe there's 1 or 2 out of this that you can also quickly fix. We might have more time at our hands after the Christmas break or during that or in between, whenever, and it doesn't take long. And then activities. So I put it down this way. If we comment on others for 7 minutes daily, then we reach out to 5 who we don't know yet. Or even you can also, reach out to 5 people means also that you know, but simply say hello. And then invite 3 people into your network, but personalized. And if you invite 3 per day, let's say 15 per week, you work also on the weekend, social media never stops. Let's say you invite 20, then you grow by 10. Is it possible? Sure it is. And please commit, if you don't post content, commit to creating 1 post per week. Can be material from someone else, can be whatever you write. Particularly now, end of the year, share what you learned, share where you stand, talk about the dreams for next year, the plans, whatever your industry is at. Easy. You see many of them. The more personalized you do, the better reach. I'm sure when you listen to this recording that out of all the topics I talked today, you can find at least 3 that you can put into action. Without action, nothing moves. So, next steps. The tricky thing is, particularly for small businesses, we have sometimes challenges on LinkedIn. We can be overcautious, not connecting with others, missing affinity with technology, or even unclear about how to share content, how to find and what to do, why to do. Then we see ourselves also overwhelmed. If you only look in the feed, it can be very irrelevant. Only strangers come to us. You do not know where to start. I met one gentleman today who said that. The other one is overthinking, perfectionism. Not so clear how to convert someone then. How can we take it offline and do something out of it? Many people also listen a lot without putting action in place. Then it doesn't help either. So that is a tricky thing here. 3 times words with an O. So how can I help? On one side, I created an online course which goes over 1.5 hours exactly about these topics, what to do against. And then I can help especially small business professionals to turn their old profile from the days when it was just a job search engine into a storytelling approach. I can do it completely from scratch, but I prefer working with someone who already has a profile but is missing a bit of hand holding to get to the next level or 2 levels and ensure that it will be done. So I will normally look into 7 points on a profile, go through them, make a critic about it, and then I share that, and then we put it in it together. Not just only a bit of advisory in that sense, but we do this together. That's important. And for those who need more on the whole journey, I call it Converting Content Journey. Of course, that requires a topic of content which we didn't cover today. And it goes over 4 sessions, and a one-on-one goes from profile to conversion. So that's the purpose of this, and it's good. I really enjoy helping someone, and I learn so much from those people as well. And I have maybe 1 or 2 clients per month to make that happen. I really enjoy that. That's good. So what would this type of online course actually include? For me, it's I call it organic LinkedIn course. Organic not only because I'm buying my food at Harris Farms, but rather it's the opposite of paid social media. So it's organic, in the sense of you don't try to buy attention, but you create it organically. And the course is, in that sense, maybe the best approach from me how to learn and apply quickly. And it goes over 4 topics. One of them is complete. The other one is about connect. Third is all about content, a bit like the commenting we talked about. And then the last one is convert. 4 times with C, and the 3 line with under converter all within E, simply like that. Because the convert topic is important. What is the purpose of social selling? We don't sell online, but we turn a conversation from public into offline. That can be a meeting, a coffee, it can be a call over GoToMeeting, whatever it is. But at least take a trigger from the public, do something with it, and engage directly, whatever then the target is to advance the business agenda. And how to get started? So there's a link that comes also including in the email of those who attended it. And otherwise you can also see the slides from my website, linkedinpowerlab.com. And here's basically the online course for 97, that is Australian dollars. Slightly similar plus minus in New Zealand dollars or Singapore dollars or whatever. US dollars is a bit less by the number, of course. And the other one is a LinkedIn profile refresh from 197, where I help. That includes 45 minutes mentoring call where I also help and learn and give them advice afterwards, and then simply suggestion what to change, where to do, and then we do a second call and do it together. Because otherwise, if I only say please change here as detailed as I want, then it often doesn't get done. But we are here not to learn only, we want to make a change. And if you would buy both together, then it also includes the setup of a LinkedIn page, the company page. Because if you remember from the beginning of the slide from Bruce, he didn't have a logo next to his own company because it was just text, missing out on a real company page. So that's what I'm doing over there. So that's all in that sense where I can help with the course and with the refresh, that you learn and get something done to a fantastic year in social media in 2023. One more thing. Launching in early 2023, and that means most likely on Monday the 6th of February, my new book called Connect and Act Systematic Social Selling. So I have a QR code, as you can see here. You can scan that to register for it, and not to pre-buy it, but rather to be notified by when it will truly come out. So that is a very practical hands-on book, how to use social selling daily in practice. It has 4 chapters. They are called Complete, Connect, Content, Convert. Yes, you saw the same as in the course. And it is basically a summary of the 42 best tips out of my series that runs under the hashtag Social Selling Monday on LinkedIn, where every week I write about how to use social selling, very often in a highly practical way. So I took the 42 best of them, compiled them together, enhanced them a bit, and the book runs, you can read it from the beginning to the end, obviously, but in addition to explanation why something is as it is, or why it's important to work with content, for example, I also have these 42 tips, which each of them runs over 2 pages, which always goes by the way of here's a challenge to do something. That's why it's a challenge, and how the solution looks like, how you can put it practically, how you can get that done, and what's the benefit from it. Highly practical. You can basically take the book as a reference to open somewhere where you like in the middle without even thinking about. Read from top left to bottom right and put straight into action. That's what I want with the book. It's systematic and practical. Looking very much forward to run a book launch event on the 6th of February in Sydney, including some food, drinks. I have an MC for the evening, and all of this will be an awesome event to talk about how to connect and how to act. Looking forward to this. Thank you everyone for watching. Appreciate a lot. So despite it's a re-recording, I hope I got the same points across quite well. And looking forward to hearing back from you. Feel free to reach out to me. Here's my LinkedIn profile. Here's also my website and my phone number. And at the top, and the QR code as well, is for connectandactbook.com. Thank you everyone for watching.